swear sometimes my mind drifts. Gotta be supernatural, you make it from down here. Hey, I lost the closest thing to my heart and almost drowned in tears. But granted, lives I'm still standing. I would never hide a fear. I stand bold on these 10 toes. Said I was gonna do it and I did it. Niggas talk but I'm never moved by their opinions. I make music for those that love the culture. Women that's in tune with they culture. And all the go-getters that made it over. I do this for the forgotten city of Macon, Georgia. They wrote us off as Otis Redding, but the wait is over.
What's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone, and you are tuned in to another edition of Mike Ryder Talks. Listen, I got a special show for y'all tonight, and I got a special guest on the line for y'all tonight. But before I get into the guest, I want to cover two things. First, let me cover y'all supporters. Mike Ryder Talks. We're live every Tuesday, every Thursday on Facebook. I try to hit 7 o'clock. I'm running a little late tonight. I apologize for that. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Either way, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Mike Ryder Talks. I should be the only one that pop up with that. I ain't going to stay on that too long, but I am going to say this. You can support my brand. Y'all see what I do around here? I run a lot of stuff around here. I try to make sure that the stream and everything is professional looking and, you know, it has good quality behind it. With that being said, you can support me by Cash Apping me. Cash App, $ Mike Ryder. It's just that simple. $ Mike Ryder. Hit them donations. And $1, $2, $3, it don't matter. A simple donation can help me to take my platform to the next level and to continue to give you guys great shows. Y'all see what I do around here. Y'all see what I do around here, man. I'm uplifting people. I'm helping people. I'm bringing on guests that you guys should get to know. I'm doing some good things for our people. You know what I'm saying? We're uplifting each other. We're helping each other out. Hit the Cash App, man, if you're watching this. $ Mike Ryder. I'm going to get to the second thing before I start the show. I done teamed up with MJ's Wax Creations. I'm going to say it again. I done teamed up with MJ's Wax Creations to do this Valentine's Day raffle. Listen, man, the raffle is $10. The raffle tickets is $10. It gives you a chance to win a baskets that were $60. You got two 12-ounce candles. You got 2 packs of wax melt. You got the chocolates. You got the Stella Rose brand wine. You got 2 wine glasses that come with that. You got some flowers, some little small teddies. You know what I'm saying? Really, that basket is worth more than $60. However, we're going to market it for $60. Like I said, I teamed up with MJ's. The raffle entry is $10 per entry. We got Valentine's Day coming. Look at that basket, man. That joker loaded. Loaded. You can't beat that. If you got a sweetheart, whether they're a man, whether they're a woman, whether you want to set the mood for yourself, you can set the mood with this. $60 raffle or a $60 basket, but we're doing a $10 raffle tickets. You can enter the raffle as many times as you like. And without further ado, we're finna get to it. Listen, tonight I got a special guest on the line. I got someone from the Middle Georgia area on the line tonight. She is a licensed professional counselor. You may know who she is once you see her, once we get to it. She is a mother. Matter of fact, she's a devoted mother. She's a daughter. She's a business owner. She's a hardworking woman. Like I said, she's from the Middle Georgia area. Very intelligent. Very knowledgeable about what she does. And you know what? I'm not going to do this much longer. I ain't going to keep y'all waiting. Without further ado, I got my special guest on the line. Chandra, how you doing this evening?
I am doing well. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Great, great.
If
Thank
if you would,
you for me on your show.
oh yeah, you're welcome, man. It's an honor to have you. Speak up a little bit for me. Matter of fact, let me see.
Make sure.
I might be able to turn you up a little.
Okay.
All right, speak up for me.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you good. If
Okay.
y'all can hear her good at home, hit the comments, let me know. Chandra, let's start from the beginning. Introduce yourself to the people. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Chandra Albritton, and I am a licensed professional counselor. Actually, I also am a independent paparazzi consultant. I've been a licensed professional counselor since 2014, and I've been an independent paparazzi consultant for 3 years. January the 8th makes 3 years. I love what I do with both of my businesses. Mike asked me before the show, how do I handle both of them? And I told him with just much prayer and much power. In addition to both of my businesses, I also work a full-time job as a counselor at Navicent Health. So, being a mom to a 17-year-old, and like I shared with him as well, I just have to balance my time and, be a great mom with her and help her, because soon she'll be leaving, going off to college. So, trying to keep her in line with everything, it's scholarship time. So, um, I'm pretty busy, but it's good busy. It's good busy. And
Amen.
um, the most rewarding thing with both of my businesses is knowing that I'm helping people, even with selling the jewelry. I find myself giving away jewelry to people that are in need, women's that are in need, because I found out with that, it increases or it boosts their self-esteem, makes them feel pretty. So there's that balance even with the counseling and then selling the jewelry as well. So both of them, I'm very proud of myself for going forward, moving forward with the businesses. And like I said, I'm reaping my rewards and I'm also giving back.
That's what's up there.
Hmm.
You got some people in the audience. She said, hey, Sean.
Hey, okay, I see. Hey,
Showing you love.
hi, Demetri. That's my cousin all the way from South Carolina, Demetri Freeman.
Dimitri.
Hmm.
Shout out Dimitri, man. Thank you for tuning in. If y'all are watching this, you can hit the like. Give me some hearts if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, give me some likes. Give me some comments. Show me that you're in the audience. Subscribe while you're there. Like me on Facebook, Mike Ryder Talks. If you have any questions for her, hit it in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, and I can pull you up just like I just pulled them up. You know what I'm saying? You can be shown on the stream. We are interactive around here. Your cousin said, my love.
That's my Aunt Ethel.
Oh, that's your aunt. Sorry
Right.
about that. Let's get into it though.
Okay.
Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Tell
So,
me how life was for you growing up, like a young Chan, a young Chandra.
okay.
How was life for you?
Okay. I am the oldest of three. So I was kind of like not really bossy, but kind of kept him in line. I was the one that would, I guess, be the person that tells everything, as they would say. So, and I was kind of take charge. If I was left in charge, I was going to be in charge. So I think that's what kind of got me onto the road to where I am now. When I set my mind out to do something, I do it. So growing up was good. And like I said, being the oldest, you have a lot of responsibilities. You have two other people that looks up to you. So you try to be a good role model to them as well. So I had a good childhood. Both of my parents are still living. I thank God for that. And they were some good parents. They raised us well. And they also instilled with us, working hard as well.
Where are you guys originally from?
I am from Twiggs County. I've been in Macon now for 11 years. Yep.
How would you say the difference from Twigs to Macon is?
Well, of course, Twiggs is a small county. I don't know how many, um, I don't know what the population count is, but it is definitely a big jump, from Twiggs to Macon. As you know, Twigs have now, I think, 2 flashing lights, caution lights. So, yes, compared to Twigs to Macon, Macon would be like a small Atlanta. Because
Come
I
on now.
have a Dollar General, and we do have a Family Dollar down there as well. So it's picking up, but it's a slow county.
They moving on up in the world. Let's get to it, man.
Hey, a Dollar General, you moving on up.
They putting Dollar Generals everywhere. Everywhere.
I wish I had some land. And Twigs kind of put me another one up somewhere.
Let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
You work as a counselor at Navicent Health. Anybody watching this who's not from the Middle Georgia area, Navicent Health is one of the main medical centers down here. You work as a counselor there. You also counsel for yourself. You have your own office. What made you want to get into counseling?
Okay, so when I started at Navicent Health back in 1997, I've been there for 24 years. So you can say my whole life, our medical center has been my life. Back in, I think it was 96, I started back school. I went as a social worker at Mercer University. They actually had a program called Social Services. So I went to school there for 4 years, and I came out in 2004. And I actually transferred to another department because I was a medical receptionist while going to school. And in this department, it's called Palliative Care, and we deal with end of life patients. These are patients that have been told that they have 6 months or less to live, or they've been told they have a end of life disease. There's nothing else that can be done. So while I was working in that area and I was working with other counselors, I was just working as like a little social worker, getting together resources, making sure that the different home health and occupational therapists and everything went out to the home. But as I got to talking more with the counselors there, and they talk with the family about their grief, about their depression, the stress, anxiety, just being overwhelmed, anticipatory grief, losing someone, in 6 months to a year. And I felt like, that's something that I can do. I can talk with these, patients and their families about that. So I went back to school to get my counseling degree. So I finished my counseling degree back in 2008, I think it was. And I started doing my internship at my job. So that was a blessing as well. And I was doing counseling. I counseled with the patient, counseled with their families, spouse, children, about what death was, what death looked like, and of course, the feelings and emotions that come with death and dying. So it has been a rewarding job. I do get, lots of compliments. I see people out, thank you. You was with me at a very hard time in my life. So I know that I reached a lot of people, and I feel like that is sort of kind of my ministry, my calling. So after that, I went ahead and got licensed so I could be able to open up my business and be able to get other individuals in and talk with them. And not only about grief, I see clients in my business with depression, anxiety, really pretty much anything. Talk therapy, they just need someone to be a listening ear. We do career counseling. So that job, my position has been very rewarding. And I like to see, clients come back and say, you really helped me. Or when we're sitting there doing counseling, you can see that light bulb moment. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, really? That's another way to look at it. So it's very rewarding. I've been in business now for myself. Actually, it's been a year now. In January the 18th was a year when I
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, it's been a year. My office is located downtown. I'm at 152 New Street, Suite 109. And like I say, it's very rewarding. I love to sit and talk with my clients, and some of them come back, and then they actually bring other family members as well. So I see that as rewarding, and I'm doing a good job as well.
Let me stop you right there. Because I got to ask you something. What's the difference between counseling and therapy?
They're pretty much the same thing, counseling, therapy, but with therapy, there are different types of therapies to use, like their cognitive behavioral therapy, multi-module therapy. These are the different type of techniques that you're using when you're counseling with an individual. But counseling covers the therapy piece. Like you may come to me and say you're having problems sleeping, or you want to lose weight. What I would use with you is what we call cognitive therapy. I would talk to you about the changes that you want to see, like you want to lose 5 pounds in 2 weeks. Okay, let's work at that. Let's write down your goals. How are we going to get you to lose 5 pounds in that week? Does that mean not eating any bread the first week? Does that mean not drinking any sodas the first week? So cognitive is getting you to think, okay, I want to lose those 5 pounds a week. So how am I going to do it? What's going to be my plan now that I know my goal is that I want to lose 10 pounds. So that's cognitive therapy. Or you may want to just come and do talk therapy. With that type of therapy, you're just going to sit and talk. I'm going to sit and listen. You're just talking. Sometimes people are all over the place when you offer talk therapy, but you're getting out everything that you want to get out. Once you got it all out, we sit down and we prioritize it, and then we set a plan or a goal on how you want to look at everything and how you want to work those steps out. So that's the difference.
Oh,
That's what counseling and therapy is. With counseling, which is listening and talking to an individual, you incorporate the different therapies. So it's pretty interchangeably the same thing. With counseling, you use your different type of therapy, and with therapy,
mhm.
you have to use the counseling piece, which is a counselor talking, listening to the issues that you may have, and using the therapies to work through those different problems.
So let me ask you this. Looking at yourself, of course, you're a black woman. Looking at myself, I'm a black man. Most of the people in the audience are black. Most of my listeners are black.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that our community does not do is seek therapy or counseling of any type. How important is counseling for our culture?
It's very important, especially now with people losing their jobs, losing their loved ones. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of depression. There's a lot of grief. People are dying. And, blacks for the longest have this mentality is we don't share our business, or we don't talk about our problems. And even if I go to therapy, we're crazy, or you're crazy. And that is so untrue. Counseling gives an individual a safe place, a safe environment to talk those issues out. We're not asking you to, of course, we want you to tell us everything that's going on so we can be able to help you, but we want you to remember that you're in a safe place. As a counselor, we're bound by law, by state of Georgia, not to share anything that's been told to us unless you're harming yourself or you're harming someone else. So if we can get African Americans to understand that counseling is here for you, to help you, we wouldn't have so many of the issues or the problems that we have now, not wanting to talk. A lot of people are on medicine because they don't want to come and talk. I would suggest that if you're having an issue, seek therapy. It doesn't have to be with me, just seek therapy. Talk your issues out. You found just sitting talking for that hour, for that 30 minutes, it helps a lot. You're letting out a lot of issues, you're letting out a lot of past, you're letting out a lot of hurts, and we're here to help you. We're bound by state. It's a lot of things that we can and we cannot do because we're bound by rules and regulations by the state of Georgia. So when you come to talk with us, there is that safe environment. We're bound by a lot of things. We're not just sitting up shopping, just listening to your business. We're here to help. We're here to help. And, family counseling, if you feel like, hey, this is the issue here, bring them in so we can talk with them as well. We
Okay.
have counseling, we have group counseling. So I encourage everyone, especially now during this pandemic, people are losing their jobs, people are losing their life. You need an outlet. If you can't speak to a counselor, share it with a close friend, a pastor, but share it with someone who can help you. And that will be a counselor to help you with a goal, with a plan to get you to a better place.
And listen, I'm looking at the people in the chat. I'm gonna get to y'all. I see y'all thinking alike. Ethel, she said this is so good. Miss Drew, she's on YouTube. She said this is really powerful. Like I said, they mind reading. They can't even see each other, but they type pretty much close to the same thing.
Okay.
Chastity Simmons, she said, how do you find a therapist good for you? That is a great question.
It is a great question. And we do have a something called Psychological Today, and that is like a it's you go on the website and it lists all the counselors that are in your area. Psychology Today. I'm talking about Psychology Today. What you would do would type in Macon, Georgia, and it would give you all the counselors who are registered with Macon or who are registered with that program. And it'll show you all the counselors in your area. And the counselor gives like a little bio of them. It also gives the type of therapies that they offer. It also talks about the different things you discuss during a session. So that is a good way to find a counselor. And let me see what else is a good way. Just and and then sometimes you do have to find a good fit. And like we said, a lot of people don't want to share they're going to counseling, and that's good. That's their business. But sometimes you may have to just start going to different ones. I mean, I've had some clients that say, hey, I went to this counselor and we just didn't fit. It wasn't a good fit, or she didn't do what you're doing now. And that's okay, because counseling is different. I mean, everybody have their own different way of counseling. So I would suggest just going to Psychology Today, putting in Macon, Georgia, wherever you're from, and it'll give you and say what radius, 50-mile radius, 25-mile radius, and it'll list all the different counselors in that area, and they'll give a little narrative of what they do in their office. They'll list the different therapists that they use in the office. So that's a good way to find someone that's a good fit for you. Or sometimes you may have to just go to one counselor, do your copay. Oh, no, this is not working. Go to another one. So, or word of
I'm
mouth.
like doing like a second opinion almost.
Like when you go to a doctor, right? And the doctor's not telling you, not so, per se telling you what you want to hear, but you're not satisfied with the professionalism or something, then you can just go to someone else. So that's really a personal choice there to find a good fit for you.
How would someone know if their loved one needs to seek counseling? Like if their loved one is starting to like change,
Mm-hmm.
would it be good for them to suggest that they go to counseling?
They may be withdrawn for a reason. They may be depressed about something. They may be going through a midlife crisis. They may not be happy with their life. Anytime you see someone that's withdrawn, sleeping all the time, not acting their usual self, it's a good time to then suggest seeing a counselor. You like, if you being upbeat and all of a sudden you're walking around, you're not caring about your appearance, pull them to the side. What's going on? How can I help you? And hopefully they will share, and then you could suggest counseling. Anytime someone's not acting their normal self, and then especially if they're going through some things, sometimes when a person has lost someone that close to them, of course we're going to grieve. We're going to be, in a dark season then. But if they constantly through that for weeks or months at a time, hey, let's go see somebody. Let's call around and find some counselors for you.
I got another one in the chat. Matter of fact, Chastity Simmons again, she says most lower income people may not be able to pay for sessions. Is there something that can help with that?
Now, most counselors do a sliding fee scale. They may offer services for less than what they're charging for their sessions. They may say, hey, are you able to pay $50, $60 if they're charging $125? It just depends on the individual counselor. Just call and say, I'm not able to afford my sessions. Can you work with me or whatever? And again, with the state of Georgia, being a licensed counselor in the state of Georgia, they do ask that we do some pro bono counseling, give back. So that may be something your counselor may give as well. But with my services, I do offer a sliding fee scale. If you're not able to pay my fee for my session, we can talk about it and I can, give you a reduced rate, especially if you need the help. If you need someone to talk to, if you feeling you're in a dark place and you just need someone to talk with, and let's talk about some plans and some goals. I'm definitely, I'm okay with doing a sliding fee scale.
I got someone else. They said, does Medicaid or Medicare pay for it for low income?
If that patient has Medicare and Medicaid, they do pay for your counseling services. So if you have Medicare and Medicaid, we will call and check it out and see, do you have counseling and how much they will cover those services. Yes, if you have Medicaid and Medicare, they do pay for your counseling services.
Listen, anybody watching this, anybody listening to this, it is okay to get counseling.
Mm-hmm.
It is okay to get therapy. If you are on the lower end of the income scale, a lot of counselors offer sliding fees. If you have Medicaid, Medicare, they will pay for your counseling. Mental illness is real,
Right.
and mental illness can affect you after anything that you go through. You could be a woman who just had a baby.
Right. Postpartum depression, we covered that as well.
And have you helped? And you don't have to give any details because I know HIPAA, but have you ever helped a woman who suffering from postpartum?
Yes. Yes.
Listen, this lady is very, very skilled. I'm sorry, I saw a comment pop up. It kind of caught my attention. I'm gonna pull that up too because we're gonna get into that.
Okay.
Thank you for that too, Ethel. But listen, if you're going through anything, if you're a woman just having a baby, if you're a man and you just separated from your old lady, or if you just lost a loved one,
Mm-hmm. Or lost your job. Right. Males
counseling can be for you.
Males are not exempt either. They go through some issues as well. They're not as verbal, and they are the ones too that can be withdrawn a lot as well. So males, it's very important that you seek counseling. There's nothing wrong with seeking counseling. We're just here to be a listening ear, to help you through those issues. And I can't stress enough, you are the one that is setting your own plans and your own goals. I'm here to help coach you through it, help talk you through it, help with the different therapies to get you to that happy place.
How many sessions? And I know you might not be able to hit it on the nail. I mean, hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
But how many sessions do you typically try to work with your clients with?
Okay, so I do take insurances. I do take Well Care, Peach Care. These are the different types of Medicaid. Well Care, Peach Care, is one more. I don't handle all my insurance. I have someone that does all of that for me. But I also take like Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Aetna. Now, a lot of these insurance companies, they have a cap on how many that a person can have. So it depends on your insurance company. Some say, hey, as many sessions as they need. Some say, okay, we're going to do 4 sessions. And then if that individual, 4 sessions for that year. So if an individual feel like they want more counseling, then okay, we'll look at my fee services, or we may look at a sliding fee scale. Then if you're not able to afford the fees for my sessions. But most insurances most of insurance do cover your counseling services, and it just depends on the individual insurance companies how many sessions you can have. Some give a cap, some say, hey, just help this individual. And and then like I say, if you have that insurance that say, hey, we're gonna only do 5 sessions, and I feel like, hey, you're not quite there yet, or you come in and say, I'm still having these issues, then we'll sit down and we'll talk. You reach your limitations, but this is, my fee, or are you able to handle this, or this is what, I'll be charging for here on out. So there are definitely ways that I can help my client as well, if you need counseling. So don't let that scare you from getting what you need.
If someone wanted to reach out to you, I got your contact stuff on the screen.
Okay.
But somebody in the chat asked, did you mention your hours?
My hours are from in the evenings because I work full time at Navicent. So my hours are in the evening. I normally see patients starting at 5. I'm normally in the office from 5 to 6:30 daily. And weekends um I do every other weekend, and it's by appointment, of course, on Saturday. Just on don't do Sundays. So my hours are Monday through Thursday at 5, and I'm not in on Friday. And then Saturdays by appointment only, every other Saturday. So it's the first and third Saturday.
Let's get more into you.
Okay.
You work at the medical center. You have your own office. You do paparazzi. When are we going to get a full-time Chandra Albritton office open here in the Macon, Middle Georgia area?
Good question. So I have gave myself a time limit of 7 years. I will have given Medical Center, Navicent Health, Atrium, our name has changed. It's now Atrium Navicent Health. I will have been giving them in 7 years, 31 years of service. So I'm looking at in the next 7 years, hopefully have a good clientele build up, maybe sign some contracts with some big companies with counseling, some of their employees. So I'm saying in the next 7 years, and that will give my daughter her 4 years of college and then her 3 years. Hey, I got you these 7 years, but then after that, I'm retiring and I'm doing that's me. So I say my goal is 7 years. I hopefully to be doing my private practice.
Okay, so let's look even further down the line. What is your future goal for your private practice?
My future goal is, of course, to have a bigger office. I need a lot of office space now. So bigger office. Um, and I've been thinking also about doing a nonprofit, like with young ladies, maybe. And I, with my daughter and a lot of her friends, knowing that I do counseling, they're always, can I talk to your mom? Can I talk to your mom? Can I
That's
ask?
amazing.
And I also get a lot of her um, friends that are in college. Can I talk to your mom about counseling? I think I want to do counseling. So I think I want to do a nonprofit for young teenagers. And right now I'm thinking just the girls, and just have a forum for them to talk about their careers, staying on track, um, what you want to be, how can I help you, more like a career counseling type thing, and to kind of help them stay on track. And with them staying on track, we cover all the other areas, stay focused, do your work, get your grades. So that's one of my future goals too, is to also do a nonprofit. So right now, a bigger office and doing a nonprofit for teens and young women.
Okay, let me ask you this, and this is back on the patient side of things, and we'll move back into the personal side of your life.
Okay.
Does someone's diet affect their mental state?
Yes. Yes. When
Let's talk about it.
Yes, when a person is not eating the correct foods, that can cause them to be irritable. That can cause them, and sometimes you hear comfort foods. Oh, I that's my comfort food. That food makes me feel good. That's mental. That's good. It keeping you it makes you feel good. But then you have the flip side of it where you can eat so much till you're overweight, and then there you are. Oh, I'm overweight. You're not your self-esteem. You're not liking the way you look, which can cause depression. I can't lose this weight, and then you're comparing yourself to someone else that causes low self-esteem. So yes, eating, gaining weight, losing weight, all of that can affect you mentally.
So what I'm hearing from you, it seems like everything goes into conjunction together. So gaining weight, lower your self-esteem, the way you feel about yourself. Say that again. I didn't hear you.
And can cause depression. You're overweight and you see all this social media, everybody is skinny, or you may work with someone that's skinny, and you think, oh, I want to be that weight, but you love food. So we need to come and talk about, do you have an eating disorder? Let's look at a plan. Back to what I said earlier, how much weight do you want to lose? Yes, eating excessively can be a mental problem. You're eating and you have your issues, but you run to food. So let's talk about that, because you shouldn't be running to food every time you confront it with a problem or you have an issue. So yes, eating can be mentally.
So a person who starts to feel down, they may not necessarily be depressed.
Right.
Um, Depression is not self-diagnosed, is it?
No, we don't like for no one to self-diagnose themselves as depression, but a person can kind of tell when they're depressed. A person can kind of tell when they're not their usual self, when they're not happy, when you're going to bed early or you laying around, you're in a dark closed room. Even with me counseling at the hospital, this patient is sick. He may have been told about a diagnosis that he's not happy with, and I may come in the room and all one window is drawn, it's dark in there. And I may ask, what's going on? I don't feel like talking, So
Mm.
sometimes depression can be just sitting in a dark room. You don't want light. And sometimes depression can be not being doing the things that you would normally do. You're usually happy, cheery, go lucky, and all of a sudden you withdrawn. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want any company. You don't want to answer your phone. You don't want to go anywhere. Depression comes in many different forms. So it's not good to diagnose yourself with depression, but a person can tell when they've been told some bad news, given some bad news, or if they lost a loved one, or if they're loss of a relationship. They can kind of tell when their moods have changed, or when they're not doing the things that they're used to do. Then that can be a form of depression. But if you feel like you've been doing this for weeks or months, you need to come in, you need to schedule to talk with someone about that.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Different characteristics that a person needs to look out for as far as like, sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
With depression, like you said, when someone changes, they start wanting to be in a dark room.
Withdrawn.
After a while, can those things progress? And if they do, what characteristics can the progression show?
The progression, some people have to be hospitalized, and then there's the talk of suicide. I can't live, I
Mm.
can't take this anymore, I can't take this pressure anymore. That's why it's very important to seek help when and depression can be brought on by different things. Like I said before, it can be brought on by a diagnosis of a disease. It can be brought on by grief, loss of a relationship, loss of a job, loss of a car, loss of a pet. When a person has been grieving 3 months, 6 months, it's time to get help, because then you're not seeking help. You may be self-diagnosing yourself, and that can lead to other problems like suicide, taking your life, taking someone else's life. So that's why counseling or seeking counseling is so vital to an individual.
When a person has, sought out counseling and they can get themselves back firing on 100%, would that affect the rest of their life?
Normally, when a person seeks counseling and they're with a good counselor and they're helping them, again, diet, exercise, hobbies, self-care. Self-care is very important as well, which can kind of prevent depression. Taking care of yourself, going on trips, um, taking walks, different stuff like that, happy stuff, feeling good about yourself can also prevent depression. But in order for one to really get the help that they need, you may want to seek counseling. And sometimes you may need medication. Sometimes depression can be so bad that you may need that lifter, and then counselor, we don't give medications. That's a psychiatrist. You have to see a psychiatrist then, to see someone about medication for depression. Because I know you all have seen the commercials on TV that talks about medicines for depression, but I would suggest just talking with a counselor, letting them listen to your problems, helping with you with your goal. And I think that'll help a lot, because sometimes when you're on those medications, It can sometimes be hard to get off. Then once you're off of them, they have a lot of side effects. I know y'all hear all those side effects on those commercials about the different meds that kind of help with depression. So I would just recommend talking to someone. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a counselor. If you trust your pastor, your minister, you know, that's wonderful too. If you have a good friend that has been through what you're going through, talk with them. What did you do to get through your depression? So there are many outlets, but to get true effective therapy, I would suggest seeing a counselor. And then a counselor will also know, hey, you've been dealing with this depression for a year. Let me refer you to a psychiatrist. You know, maybe you need some medications to kind of help lift your mood, help you get to your happy place. But counseling first. I would suggest counseling first.
So as far as like a therapist, a counselor, a psychiatrist, you all are different,
Mm-hmm.
but you all are also intertwined in some kind of way.
Right. Now, normally I get referrals from psychiatrists because they do the medication side. They may listen to an individual issues, problems that they may have, but with counseling, that's what we do. And we, like I told you earlier, we have the different therapies that help the individual as well. Psychiatrists, they will talk with you, but they're more, that's why they're doctors, because they're able to write prescriptions for different medications for depression and things of that nature. So a person may go to a psychiatrist to get medications, and then they still refer them to me so that patient can talk, do the talk therapy, talk out their issues. Again, I say, talk about a goal. What is it that you like to do? Okay, how many days did you walk this week? How many days did you read your book or read a book? How many days, whatever self-care that they have, that's what we work on, helping you get to your happy place. And then with that, with counseling, it's ingrained in you. I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling good about myself. And you may go back through your journal. I'm big on journals. When a client comes to see me, I have a stack of journals. Let's get you a journal. Let's write out those days every day. If a day is a good day, write in there why that day was a good day. If a day was a bad day, write in there why that was a bad day. And how could you have made that day better? Could you have just gotten up and woke up with a smile? Or did you get up and just rush through the day, and then all of a sudden you just upset with the world? So that journaling helps a whole lot, and it gets the client to see where they are in their life, and then a pattern. Every day you getting up, waking up mad with the world. What's going on? What is something that you're not doing? Let's talk about it. So a psychiatrist may refer you to a counselor just to help work through those issues, but you may go with them just to see how you are done with that medication. If you've been on that medication for about a month, you should see a difference in your attitude. And then that may take you off in a couple of months and still keep you with me. And I'm going to talk with you about coping skills, about what you're doing to keep yourself happy. So that's how we kind of work hand in hand with the psychiatrist.
Got you. Got you. Okay. So, like you said, those journals they're very important when it comes to like self-help. When it comes to taking care of yourself, you want to write down, okay, let's keep a journal on what I eat. Let's keep a journal on how much I weigh. Let's keep a journal on what I did for today. Let's keep a journal on how I felt for today. Let's keep a journal on the thoughts that are going through my mind. Because if we can keep a track of it, we can know what we need to eliminate. We can know what we need to add to it to improve our situation.
Exactly. And
Self. Go ahead. You got the floor.
Right. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You got it.
Goes with food as well, Mike. Writing out your food. I know there are certain foods that I eat and it makes me tired, sluggish, and that's not a good feeling. And it's bread. If I eat any type of bread, and I just shared with you too about eating Subway, but most of the times if I eat a lot of bread, anything carb, I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling sluggish. It's like, okay, all I want to do is sleep. Those are moods. So you write that down. So a week later, okay, I'm not gonna eat any bread for that week. And I wrote that down in my journal. That's my plan, is not to eat any bread for that week. So I go back, I don't eat any bread that week. The next following week, my mood should be a little better because I haven't had any bread. So that's the importance of keeping a journal as well. So you can kind of see how your mood changes. So that's why I said, yes, eating can also be a mood enhancer, or it can decrease your mood. So when I give out that journal, I tell all my clients, just write. I mean, it doesn't have to be a paragraph. It could be a sentence. I was mad today. You bring that in. Okay, what were you mad about that day? We're gonna talk about
Mhm.
it. What could you have done different? And I
Mm.
love having journals. Like I said, when my client first come see me, let's get a journal. Yeah.
Um, got some comments I'm gonna go over. Michelle says, so a journal helps too. Basically, yes,
Mm-hmm.
that journal will help you
Right.
on all aspects,
All aspects.
even outside of like mental health. If you're just trying to lose weight,
Right.
keep a journal on your weight loss. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Keep a
It's
journal on what you eat.
same as like Weight Watchers. You keeping a journal of everything you eat. You keeping a journal of the exercise you did for that day. Yes, a journal helps a lot with counseling. I'm a believer in that. That's why I keep them at my office. Like I say, when you finish all your paperwork or whatever, I hand you a stack. Find your journal, and you just sift through the journals and get one out. And I expect you to have it on every appointment, because we're gonna go through
Mm.
that. If you come in every week, if you come in every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, I need to see your journal. Let me see what you did. You want this help. So I need to see how you've been helping yourself. With counseling too, we're here to help, but you need to help yourself too. You need to be able to see some changes also.
Uh, Tanisha, she says journaling can also let the client see how far they've come, and that's a fact.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yep. That is a fact.
Jessica Mack, shout out Jessica Mack. She says, I say that all the time. Journal, journal,
Very,
journal.
very important. Well, you can't ask in my, but yes, I have those journals. And I tell them when I send out a reminder, bring your journal. Or I ask them, do you have your journal? Let's write down. Let's write down what we just talked about. Let's write down this plan you just said. Now, how we're gonna incorporate it in your day-to-day living. And when you come back, I need to see, hey, I walked 30 minutes. Hey, I got up out of bed today. Hey, I did this today. I need to see that you're also working on your goals and plans. You say you want help. Let's see it. Journal is a good way of keeping up with what you're doing to help yourself as well.
And look, anybody who's listening, listen to what I'm about to tell you. You might not have to go buy an actual journal like a book, a notebook. Our phones are filled with what we need. I just got a new Samsung phone.
Mm-hmm.
Inside the phone, it has a thing called Samsung Health. And you take a note of how long you slept, how much water you drank, what kind of exercises you did, what did you eat today. On top of that, it has like a notepad thing, and you could just write down, just like she said, keep it in a journal. So that way you don't have to physically write it. Because I know a lot of things are done electronically now. So we could do it in our phones.
Right.
Um, we'll move on from the journaling, but I'm also tied in. I be seeing you posting things online, like this right here. I feel like this is very, very helpful. It says, don't believe everything you think.
Right. Right. That your mind is very powerful. Your mind will believe whatever you tell it. So if you're feeding negative things into your mind, guess what? You're gonna be negative. So
Mm.
very important to stay positive in whatever you're going through. I mean, I know it's hard, but try to stay positive. Oh, I lost my job. Look at it this way: a better one is coming. Let's work on it. How we gonna get this better job? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need what else do you like to do? There are different ways. Don't just stay stuck. Don't believe everything you think, overthinking things. Sometimes you overthink things, and guess what? They don't even happen the way that you don't over
Yeah, you done drew out this whole list scenario that's gonna happen.
it don't even happen. So your mind is very powerful. Whatever you tell it, it's gonna go that route. So you have to
Mm.
positive. You have to be positive as well. when you get those good thoughts in your head, again, write it down. Keep a journal, write it down. When you get the negative stuff, cast it down. I mean, you can write it down too, but write a good point or write something positive up under it. Oh, I'm fat, but I'm going to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Okay, how are you going to do it? I'm going to walk 30 minutes. I'm going to cut out drinks. That's telling your mind the positive stuff that you want to do to get to that positive state.
Andrea, she says, Tanisha, yes, it's a keepsake. Yes, that journal is a keepsake. It's something amazing. Man, years ago, my niece gifted me with the journal. Shout out to my niece, man. I saw her today, her and her little baby. And ever since then, I've always kept a journal of some type. Like I said, whether it's in my phone, whether it's when I can physically write in, have that journal is like a sidekick almost.
Yeah.
It can't literally talk to you, but when you open them pages, they talk to you.
It talks to you. I mean, and then
it tells you.
Right. And like I tell a lot of my counselors too, they write in their journal faithfully. Let's look back a month ago. Let's see where you were. Let's see where you are now. Let's see how far you've come. And they'll be surprised, you know. And a lot of them, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back there. So let's continue to do this. So journal is very rewarding. I mean, like I say, that's why I give them out on my first visit. I don't care if you don't come back. One thing you will remember is that I gave you that journal.
You gave them that journal.
Gave them that journal. And then it may say, oh, I think I need to go back and see her. But one thing about it, that first visit, you will get a journal.
And listen, Andrea, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to Andrea, Andrea's Cook of the Cook Empire. She says so many therapeutic tools are about planning.
Yes.
Planning goes a long way.
And if your plan doesn't work, change your plan. Let's stay positive about it. Okay, that's not working. Yep. Because again, don't believe everything your mind is telling me. Oh, I can't do this. Okay, let's make it simpler. Let's write it down. Let's make it simpler. Okay. You can't cut out bread, but you're gonna walk those 30 days. You can't cut out the stuff, but you're gonna cut out the bread. Let's yes, very therapeutic. We're gonna do something. We're gonna stay positive about it. So yes, I mean planning is good.
It all goes to self-help. So, and I see you're very big on like self-care. You got a little thing that you're doing online. You got some self-care kits. Are you selling these? Are you giving them away? How does that work?
Okay, so I am selling the self-care kits. This one here that you have displayed, this self-care kit here is well, all of my self-care kits are $20. But this particular kit here is what I'm going to call my signature kit. It's one that I'm going to be selling all the time. And it includes, you know, some body wash, a candle, some shea butter, gum, water, a little journal is also in it. And again, I'm big on self-care, you know, taking care of yourself. Sometimes you need to just slow down, smell the flowers. You know, there's a little flower there, a little petal there. So I incorporate that in my planning too. You got to have self-care to keep balance. You got to have self-care. I think you asked me before the show, how do you handle all of this? And I say, hey, sometimes things may not get done. If I don't work all day and I saw a client at the office, I'm not gonna come home and do paparazzi. I'm just gonna chill out the rest of the day. I need to decompress, get myself together for the next day. So I need to cut it off. I need to set a time where when I'm tired, I have a time frame. And I think I shared with you too, I don't do counseling on Fridays. So I set little different boundaries for myself as well. So with this self-care kit, it is one to get you started with self-care or one to incorporate with your self-care. You know, again, big on journals. So it's a journal in there. Some of them just have an encouraging book, encouraging word. That one that's being shown now. These are my Valentine's. I call them my Valentine Self-Care Kit. It includes a candle, some shea butter, a journal, some socks, some candy as well. And again, this is to help with self-care, you know. And again, there'll be great gifts to give to someone who's in a nursing home. I don't know about, you know, they let you have the candles there, but you know, and just nice gifts to give to someone. I have a lot of people, they're selling well. I have a couple of people that are buying them and adding more stuff to it as well. You know, a piece of jewelry, something that the whoever they're presenting that box, the kit with, they adding something personal to it as well. So all of those kits are being sold for $20. And the yellow kit, that's like my signature kit. They're available in, there you go. Those are available in my office. You know, you want to come in and get a kit, they're there. And like I said, that's another big part of my counseling as well. Taking care of yourself. That's one way to get burnt out. Not taking care of yourself, then guess what? You're depressed, you're stressed, you're dealing with anxiety, you're dealing with panic attacks. Hey, take care of yourself. So I believe in my counseling that self-care and journaling are two of the biggest things that can help a client through their journal. I mean, their journey.
Listen, we're gonna get back to the chat, and if y'all have any questions for her, put them up there. Put them out there. I will put them up there. Tanisha says journaling is very powerful. Even therapists themselves journal.
I do. I know y'all probably see me looking over here because I'm looking at some of my journals. I journal on everything. I mean, sometimes I can be here at the house and I'm like just looking for, oh, I thought I had this journal last year. Let me look in this journal and see. And like you said, it's good to look back to see how far you have come. So I can't say enough. Journaling is very important. And I love them. I have asked my daughter every time we go in the store, I buy a journal. She said, "You don't have enough journals yet?" Nope. I love them all.
And see, like journaling, even like your little self-care kit that you have,
Hmm.
all of that promotes positivity. So, like if you get someone a self-care kit, man, especially a woman, you
Hmm.
know women love like designer socks or like mix match socks. Man, they throw them socks on, that'll put a smile on their face. That candle, when it lets off that scent, to be able to come inside someone's home and it smells good, that's a comforting smell. It sends signals, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be relaxed, you'll be more positive.
Exactly.
Someone in the chat says positivity stays in my daily routine. I had to learn my peace.
Very.
Yes, you have to learn yourself.
Yep. You have to learn.
Um,
You have to set boundaries. If it means setting boundaries to get peace, that's what it does. If it means, hey, this is my day set aside for self-care. I need peace. I need to be alone by myself, journaling, like you said, burning my candle, taking me a good hot shower, a nice relaxing tub bath. All of that is there in those kits. You need peace. You need a lot of time is just getting into that moment where you're to yourself and you just the cares of the world are just gone and just get into that place where you're to yourself and you just enjoying your peace. That can help you so much mentally.
and listen, somebody put this on the screen on the chat. I don't know how late this might be. She says she needs to be a vendor at my open mic night Saturday night. Now I don't know if that's too late to do. If y'all want to, listen, Chandra, this is Jessica Mack.
Oh,
You can inbox her, Jessica. You inbox her,
right.
and
Inbox.
y'all can try to set something up.
Yes. Inbox me, Miss Mack. I'd be glad to talk with you.
And then Andrea, she says we have to remind ourselves and our colleagues to remember that self-care is not selfish, it's self-preserving.
Correct. And I get that a lot at work at Atrium. I get that a lot at work. They've been taking care of their parents or their child, their disabled child for so long, they think they don't deserve to take care of themselves. I mean, they have their hair tied up. They haven't been to a beauty salon in months because, oh, I got to take care of this. I got to take care of my dad. I got to take care of my mom. You know, I haven't done this in a while. Ooh, I don't know what it means to just go and get something to eat for myself and just sit alone. And I say, stop it right there. You need to find time. You need time. You getting burnt out. You're a caregiver. You got to take time for yourself. I mean, it's been sometimes they'll tell me soon as they get in the shower, not even a good 5 minutes, they got to get out because they hear some commotion going on, or somebody has fallen. So, even if it's just paying someone to help you, or get somebody to volunteer, somebody that to take care of your loved one while you get some self-care. Is You can't take care of someone else if you're on empty. You cannot do it. What it will lead you is to have an illness also, or just burnt out, where you're not able to take care of that individual as well. So you have to set boundaries. You have to have a time set aside for you, even if it's just for one day. Get your nails done, go get a massage, just sit still, meditate, write in your journal. It's something that you can do. I mean, some of my stuff on some of my pages, I think I have something where I give ideas for self-care. If not, just inbox me. I can send you a list of different things that you can do for self-care. I think I have a list where 50 things to do for self-care. It's a lot of things out there that you can do to incorporate self-care.
And listen, someone put this in the chat. This is perfect. It's a lot, so let me get through it.
Okay.
She said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Rest and self-care are so important. When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve others from the overflow. You cannot serve from an empty vessel. See, you preaching now.
That is so true, Miss Will. You cannot serve from an empty vessel. Or if you are broken, hurt, tired, beat down, how are you going to help that individual? And just like Andrea said too, we need that self-care as well. We empty ourselves every time we end those sessions. We're pouring into this client. And guess what? As we pour into that client, we're depleting ourselves. So we need to get into journaling. We need to get into self-care. We need to get into doing for ourselves as well, because you cannot teach, counsel, do anything if you're not taking care of yourself.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
I got somebody with a question for you.
Okay.
She said, what advice can you give people that have a hard time setting boundaries for themselves?
Okay, so if someone is having a hard time setting boundaries for themselves, what I would do first is say, what is the least, what is the least, let me see, how can I put this? When you're setting boundaries, you're saying no to something, or you're saying not yet to something. So you have to look at that situation and say, how much am I going to give to that situation? How much I'm not going to give to that situation? It just depends on the problem. If you feel like this is someone who's just draining you all the time, or every time you come around, that Debbie Downer, okay, so you need to set a boundary. I'm not going to be around this person no longer than 30 minutes. It just depends on the situation. So you need to spend as less time around that person that causes you to feel a certain way. Set a boundary. If you're in a relationship and you feel like, hey, I'm not going to take this, set boundaries. I'm not going to tolerate the way you talk to me. I'm not going to tolerate the way you treat me. You treat me different from
Right.
Set that boundary. I'm not going through. So it depends on the individual. It depends on the problem, on how you set those boundaries. You have to come up with a boundary, because you can't not let someone walk over you or do things to you that you're not happy with. And when you get tired, guess what? You're going to set that boundary, whatever the problem may be.
That's a fact.
Hey,
Listen, I saw you post, and I'm not going to hold you much longer. We're going to hit the hour mark. I saw you post something else that caught my attention. This really caught my attention, especially here in the Black community. A lot of people don't know where trauma begins. I'm putting it on solo so y'all can see it. Where can trauma begin, Chandra?
Yep. Trauma can begin in any of those examples that are displayed there. Being discriminated against. That in itself can cause you to have issues with, being, and that can be discrimination, race, weight, your sexuality, Discrimination can cause trauma. You know, you talk ugly to me. You called me a lesbian, you know, and that it can traumatize a person, especially if, you know, you have issues like with race, you know, that traumatize some people. You know, you may have been up into the Capitol and got beat down, you know, and that traumatized you, that hurts you. So those different traumas and the different problems that can stem from them, they can have a lasting effect on an individual. So when a person cannot move forward, and and some of them, the reason why they can't move forward and a lot of things in their life is because of the trauma that they had when they was a child or growing up as an adult. I think I saw divorce and a breakup that can traumatize you. You know, oh, your world revolved around this marriage. You know, you poured everything into this marriage just to find out that someone that your loved one was cheating, adultery, or whatever. So now you're traumatized. You don't want anybody else now. You don't want to date. You're traumatized. You don't want that to happen again. So now you're traumatized from that. And then there's the poverty. You know, you grew up, which can start small. You grew up in poverty. So now you're used to that poverty. So you stand in it. That can be trauma. You don't know how to get out. You traumatized by it. Or you can be so traumatized by it where you say, hey, I'm not going there. I know what I need to do to get out this poverty. I don't want to go there. I saw how we grew up. I saw how we didn't have shoes. We didn't have socks. We didn't have heat. I'm not going through that. So that trauma of that childhood poverty is causing you to excel in a lot of things because you don't want to go back there, or
You
you don't
cut
want
out.
children to
Can
have.
you hear me?
Right. So all of
Hold
those
on, y'all. Hold on, y'all, because he done cut out.
who
I
I'm
don't
here.
know why.
Go ahead.
Okay, okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So all those issues there is where trauma can begin. And those are
Got you.
good examples, good examples. So again, like we talked about during the show, um, we as African Americans, we need to um, think about counseling more, you know, because again, trauma, you know, that lists a lot of issues that a lot of us may have been through, may be going through, you know, probably can be now through this pandemic. You may need somebody to talk it out with. And like I said, insurance money isn't an issue. We can talk about that, but the biggest thing is getting you to a better place.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, Chandra, I'm gonna go ahead on that note. We'll go ahead and end this thing. Like I said, we done been on here for a while. I think we done gave the people enough gems, enough information.
Okay.
Listen, overall thing that you need to leave this interview with, if you're listening to this or watching this, counseling is okay. Counseling is vital to your health. Counseling is vital to your mental health, which in turn, your mental health is very vital to your overall health. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to seek counseling. If you're in the middle Georgia area, I got Chandra on here, Mrs. Albritton, and her contact information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna also get you before you leave. Tell people how they can contact you. You can go in whatever order you want to. You ain't got to match the ticker. Just give your contact information.
Okay. So if you would like to schedule an appointment with me, I'm currently working on my website. So I don't have a website up yet, but it's in the making. So right now, just contact me via phone. And my number is 478-832-2746. And again, my hours are Monday through Thursday, 5 to 6:30, and I do counseling every other Saturday, first and third Saturday by appointments only. I do
Mm,
have a business Facebook page. You all are welcome to join that page, and it is Chandra Lewis Albritton LPC LCC. Hopefully, by the end of the week or the beginning of next week, I will have my Facebook page up, or not Facebook, website page up, and I have a little place there, and it'll be protected where you can say, hey, I need an appointment. Can you give me a call? It's like you just emailing me and to let me know what you need. And also, I have a personal Facebook page. You can inbox me if you have any issues or need to speak to me as well. And my regular Facebook page is just Chandra Lewis Albritton, and it's up here on the page as well. So I enjoyed tonight talking with everyone. And even if you're not seeing a counselor, get your journal. It will help you. Get your journal, write out your feelings, write out how you want to change that, even with your boundaries. Hey, I need to stop eating so much. Set that down. Set a boundary for eating. I need to set one for eating. No food after 8 o'clock. So that's a boundary. Like I said, boundary comes in different ways. It just depends on the problem that you're having. So the most important takeaway is journaling, self-care, and seek help.
Listen, before you leave, I got one more thing. They said, do you counsel family members?
No, by state of Georgia, we are bound. We are not to counsel any family members nor any close friends, or if they have children and their close friend. That's just the state. I mean, we're licensed through the state, so we have to follow by the state rules. So no, that would be no.
All right, y'all. Listen, if y'all have any other questions, the time is now to put them out there, and I will put them on the screen. Other than that, I'm about to shut this thing down. It is your boy, Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone. This was a great episode, a much needed episode of Mike Ryder Talks. It's Health Month over here. We're covering every aspect of health with the interviews that I'm doing. Y'all see me with the personal trainer. Y'all see me with the yoga instructor. Y'all see me tonight with the licensed counselor. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to do some things around here. We're trying to help the community. That's what I'm here for. That's what Chandra is here for, to help the community. She said, great show. Listen, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed y'all. I enjoyed Chandra. But before I leave, I do want to touch on this before I go. I'm doing the raffle, doing a Valentine's Day raffle. Valentine's Day raffle. I got a $60 basket that I'm raffling off, and the entry is $10 raffle tickets. So it's a $10 entry to be considered for the raffle. It is random. You know how the raffles go. I'm going to go live for the raffle. I need y'all's help. You know what I'm saying? Come on in here. Get the basket. You get 2 12-ounce candles. You get 2 packs of the wax melts. You get chocolate. You get the wine. Come on, man. You can't beat that. You get the wine, the Stella Rose Rosé. You get the flowers, the individual flowers with the teddies. I know y'all done seen them. You get the wine glasses. It sets the mood for Valentine's Day. That is what that's for. And to enter the raffle, only thing you got to do is cash out Mike Ryder. That's $MikeRyder. $10 entry. You can enter as many times as you want. Like I said, one more time, you got the Stella Rose on there, the rosé flavor. You got 2 wine glasses. You got 2 12-ounce candles made from MJ's. You got 2 packs of the wax melts. You got the chocolates. You got the roses in the back. That basket is worth well over $60. But guess what? We're gonna do it for $60, and you only gonna take $10 of your money to enter into the drawing. Either way, it's your boy Mike Ryder, Mr. Accountability, the man behind the microphone. You know how it goes around here, man. We love you. And until we meet again, I need each and every one of you to read that ticker and do what it says. Be blessed for me, all right? Love y'all. One.